There we are. All right, Stevie, you want to kick us off?
Happy to, yeah. Hey, welcome to the call, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. You're in for a few great moments this morning or this afternoon or the evening, wherever you are, because you are joined by just a few of the greatest. So you're going to get some really great information here. Make sure you've got a notebook and a pen because these wise men and ladies soon who are going to join us are going to be imparting some words of wisdom upon you, and it is going to be a great call indeed. I'm very excited. So we are joined by Mr. Bart Kotter, who is a ASEA Triple Diamond executive, and also my great American dad, Mr. Ed Wiens, who's also a ASEA Triple Diamond there, although you might have changed, sir. I can't keep up with you. And we've got the awesome dynamite Danny Doyle, ASEA ambassador, Triple Diamond. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Did you want to say a quick hello?
Everybody, welcome to the call.
Cool.
That's great to be on with you folks. Looking forward to hearing the great Danny Doyle.
Thanks, Ned. On as a surprise to have you on. You got me?
Copy.
We've started. Okay. We've had a couple of these calls, Ed, and it's been a good practice run until now. So I suppose if we go through this is just about mindset, getting people into kicking off the new year in the right way, getting this in the right place to make sure people are on track to go where they want to go this year. So everything that I do and I say in life, whether it's to myself when I'm talking to myself or talking to the team, the quotes I write, what I say, it's literally for me. And hopefully with what I want to hear, with what I'm saying, it's going to be helping everybody else as well. So I suppose if I just quickly, because we've got such short time, and I don't know if you, Ed, and Bart were on the call this morning, the Global Diamond call. I've taken a snapshot of a lot of those, and I think this will be a good help for people just to quickly whiz through those as well. So I want to give us enough time to get through those as well. So I thought rather than quick run off each other and being bogged down with too much, I'm just going to go through a few notes that I took leading into the call we did a week ago and this one here. And then if you guys can come in with any of the stuff that I'm talking about, just to enhance, reiterate, to give your perspective and point of view on everything that I go through. So this is all about getting this year moving in the right way for everybody. I mean, I'm absolutely pumped. I admitted on the last couple of calls that last year I didn't do my job. I let myself down, and if I let myself down, I let you guys down, I let the team down, I let the company down, I let the leadership down. I didn't do a good job last year at all. So there's only one person I can blame for that, and that's me. This year, that's not going to happen. I can tell you now that I'm so focused and excited about this year, or where I am particularly with myself mentally and what I'm going to do. Nothing is going to get me into a position where I'm going to be a statistic again. And if we talk about statistics, a lot of people set their goals, their New Year's resolutions at the end of a year, and unfortunately by mid-February, 80% of people fall off the wagon. And in Australia in particular, our statistics are a lot worse. Literally by the end of this week, a lot of people just lose the vision of what they want to achieve this year. It's already gone. So in Australia, it's already over. So I'm not going to become a statistic this year. There's no way in the world I'm going to become a statistic. I've got my goal set. I've got my New Year's resolution. I've bought my treadmill. So if it's raining outside, I'll be on the treadmill and I'll be listening to some inspirational people to help me and get my mindset and keep me moving in the right direction. I'm not going to be that statistic. We want to help you not to be a statistic as well. That's all about, developing discipline. Make sure you discipline yourself. Make sure you get into a ritual, so into a daily routine to make sure you're not wasting any time, your precious time, to be able to build this business. So I want to keep my daily planner, my my diary absolutely chockers this year. A big problem with a lot of people out there is they unfortunately haven't got the head start that we've got. They haven't got the vehicle that we have. They haven't got the breakthrough that we've got, and they have not got the opportunity that that has created. So we are in a very, very good place for starters. So we've got something we can offer absolutely everybody. If at any time my internet cuts out, just wave to me, guys, so I know to stop and wait till it kicks back in.
Hey, Danny, you shared something with us yesterday about a dinner that you had with Vertus and Tyler, and really kind of a profound message. And I know that we've got a few people that are pretty brand new that may not have even heard your story. Without getting into a lot of the details, I wonder if you could just kind of kick this off by just telling us why you think ASEA is truly special and what it's meant for you.
Yeah, sure. No, it's good timing too. So, I was in a fortunate enough place that I met Bart in another company that unfortunately lost their way. Bart reached out to me in that company because I was doing quite well and wanted some tips and handy hints on what to do to build that company. Fortunately, I was one of those types of leaders that didn't ignore anybody else outside of my business, and we did build a relationship, and we did work with each other. And time went on. That company lost its way, and unfortunately, Ed ended up telling Bart about this incredible breakthrough technology that he ignored for 5 years, and Bart ended up telling me about it because I had 2 major serious health challenges. And when Bart told me about this, there was a fraction of skepticism, but I knew Bart. I believed in Bart. I had the faith and trust in Bart. He sounded very excited when he was calling me, and to be honest with you, I was very desperate to find something for my health. So when he called me, long story short, we flew to the headquarters in Salt Lake City, ASEA's headquarters. We heard from corporate, we heard from the founders, we heard from Dr. Gary Samuelson. All this happened in a very short period of time, just in a short few days. Long story short, my health turned around dramatically in that period of time, with going through a major detox in a few hours, with a 20-year caffeine intolerance going away overnight. And within a short couple of days, my lung damage from all my hospital visits, my lungs were functioning perfect. The incredible thing about that particular meeting was that Tyler Norton got up, and I wasn't interested in the business at all. It was all about my health. But something that he said back then, which just stuck in my head, and this company leads by their ethos, their principles and values now, was that he didn't want anybody involved in this business that has ego and economics above principle and purpose. And that just sat in the back of my head. And unfortunately, it took 5 months before I made a decision to do anything on the business side. But if you look at my health over a 12-month period between the end of 2014 and 2015, in that year, my health was returned to blueprint. My 2 major health challenges had gone away. Multiple injuries from playing sports that were turning into a crippling issue. That had all gone away. So my whole body was rebuilt in 2015. Now, I've come from corporate and I've come from building traditional businesses. So I used to think people were absolutely nuts. They were crazy to get involved in network marketing. I never believed in the business model. And you've got Bart that's been in it for 25 years and Ed for probably 55. But anyway, these guys have got a lot of experience. I didn't have much of experience at all. My first company, as I met Bart, it wasn't a product-based company. It did give me a lot of experience, but knowing what I know from where I've come from in corporate and traditional business, with the intention of this company, their ethos, the leadership, the compensation plan, the people that we're working with, the opportunity to help people with their health and financial freedom, I would never contemplate going back to traditional business or corporate ever again, because we have got the vehicle, which is very important when picking a company like this, the vehicle that can take anybody anywhere they want to go in life. So in saying that, a lot of you are already involved, or most of you are, some of you are new. The thing that I'd like to remind people of, no matter what they hear, is to never, ever, ever doubt what they're hearing about this company or technology. Never doubt the technology, never doubt the products, never doubt the leadership. Don't doubt the compensation plan. But most of all, don't doubt yourself. you doubt yourself, guys, you're going to be, I mean, if you guys know where you're going to be in 5 years' time, that is fantastic, because obviously you've got your dreams, you're setting your goals, and you've got your targets in place. If you have no idea where you're going to be in 5 years' time, the best thing to do is take a look at where you are now, and that's going to give you a good indication. And I'm sure you're not going to be wanting to be where you are now in 5 years' time. So let's just work on a year at a time. Let's just make sure that on the 1st of January 2020, that you are not in the exact same position that you are now, because I know that most of you, if not all of you, aren't going to want to be in that position. So guys, you need to grow yourself personally. It took me a long time to get into my head, and I still have yet to read a book, but Audibles are looking good. As far as personal development, setting goals, I mean, I've had to change myself, and I've learned a lot in the last few years. I'm listening to some inspirational and motivational people now, which has helped me dramatically, even just in the last month. So I know now it's a continual process to keep working on yourself, on your mindset, on your skill set. If you're continually working on your mindset and your skill set and your business, and you're growing, your business will grow. If you stop doing that or slow down on doing that, your business will reflect what you're doing for yourself personally. It's just going to happen. I didn't believe that was the case, but that's absolutely the case. You know, Stevie told me about this guy called Grant Cardone 2 years ago. I know we've been pushing him through the team now. We're not going to dwell on him, but I highly recommend you have a look at some of his YouTube clips. He may seem a little bit arrogant when you first watch him, but he has got a purposeful mission to help people, to get them out of the system, to get them out of our suppressive world that we live in. Take a look at Grant Cardone, and you know, it's got me totally fired up, and I'm sure it'll get you fired up. Guys, never underestimate yourself. Set your goals, write them down every day. These guys are all going to elaborate on what I'm going to go through now. As a matter of fact, we'll take some time to do that right now. You've got your notepad sitting in front of you right now. While we're talking, write down your goals, what you want to achieve by the end of this year, personally, professionally. And I say professionally because you are professionals. You are network marketing professionals. Write down your goals for this year, for income, for rank, whatever you want to achieve personally. We got on a call last night, and Bart was saying that, this guy, I think he had 500 goals or something, but the more goals you have, the more that you're going to push yourself to achieve all your goals and everything you want to achieve in life. And make sure that what you write down, what you envision, is totally, totally crystal clear. Has to be crystal clear. If you don't know, if you can't see where you're going, if that goal is sitting in the bushes or in a dark forest, and you can't see it, you're not going to know what you're going to be aiming for. So make sure your goals are totally crystal clear, and write them down every single day. Stevie mentioned yesterday, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, if things aren't going well, write down your goals again. Get yourself inspired again. Get yourself disciplined enough to keep moving forward. So the other thing is, identify anything that's blocking your way. Anything negative in your life, get rid of those blocks, identify them, deal with them, and make sure that anything negative, regardless of what it is, including an individual, just get them out of your lives, guys. You don't need people or any negativity in your lives. I mean, what you can do as far as a positive is use it to turn it into a positive, use it to motivate you and actually move away from it and get you into a position where you are in a good place. Build your ASEA business like you're a madman or madwoman possessed. I build it like I'm in survival mode, like I can't afford to put food on the table. I mean, I'm doing extremely well financially, but I'm still building it like I can't survive. And if I build the business like that, that means I'm going to be utilizing and maximizing my time to help as many people as possible. I'm scared not to do that. I'm scared not to put time in. I'm scared not to act, because I'm scared that I will lose somebody by not doing what I should be doing, and that's telling everybody about what we have. People give up on their goals, on their dreams, and on their targets because they don't take the time to plan, and they don't know what actions to take to make it happen. Guys, you've got to have a plan in place. any business has to have a plan in place. You can have your goals and you have your targets, but if you don't have a plan to work in with your goals and targets, and your dreams and everything that you want to achieve, it's going to be pretty hard to have a system in place. You've got to have that plan in place to be able to pull it all together to be able to move forward. So, I mean, there's no fancy way that I build this business. I mean, I've got bits and pieces of paper everywhere. I've got whiteboards in the background. I've got scribble in my diary or my daily planner, but that works for me. My whiteboards are nowhere near as organised as Amilton's and Kaleen's, as you can see in the background there, but it works for me. So as long as it's working for you, as long as what you do is productive, and that's a big thing too, you have to work out the difference between being busy and productive. I know so many people in this business that are busy delivering ASEA to people and delivering product and wasting time on phone calls and watching television and sitting there with a beer or a glass of wine when they can actually be productive, making money, which is a reflection of the people they're helping. So at any point of time, if you're working on your ASEA business and you think that you're heading in the right direction at that moment of time, if you realize and discover on the spot that you're not making money, that means you're not getting the product in the hands of people and you're not helping, saving, changing people's lives. So change that activity immediately. I suppose that's just a quick overview on getting the year going really quickly. I don't want to take up time on this call because we've got some pretty incredible guys here that I want to hear their input too, with everything I've just gone through and add to kicking off the new year right. We are going to go through some slides, which we're going to pull up on this morning's global call, the Global Diamond Call. That's going to help you to realise where we've come from in 2018, how successful we are, and the strategy of where we're going in the next 3 years. So, guys, if I can just open up the lines with Amilton and Stevie and Ed and Bart, if you guys can come on. Any input that you've got now to get these guys going for the new year, go for your life, guys.
Hey, Danny, I'd like to just touch on what you were saying in terms of goals. The best book that I've ever read on abundance is this one right here. It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's a little bit of an odd title, but this is the book that was referring to the goals. And basically the idea was, sometimes it can be kind of scary to set a time frame on a goal. Definitely have a time frame on what you want for 2019. But the guy said, if you want to be really successful, don't just set a few goals, set a lot of goals. And it wasn't even 500, it was 5,000 goals. And you think, how on earth do you set 5,000 goals? Well, you set, if you have your house, if you want to design a house, there's lots of little goals that you would have with that. There's lots of goals with your business. But it's not just about the level you want to achieve, but it's also about what do you want to do with that? What is the lifestyle? Because the money that you create doesn't have any value until you do something with it, until you contribute with it. And, if you just get on Danny's Facebook page, you can see that he's mixing a lot of fun in with his, with building the business as well. Traveling and, renting a Ferrari. Melissa and I just had a chance to take a trip of a lifetime, something I've always dreamed of, which is to go to Bali for 10 days and stay in a beautiful resort. So think of all those things, what your why is, what your purpose is, how you're going to contribute, how you want to help other people, as well as your level. And so the idea is when you're setting your goals, think, what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to become? All the things that you want to do in the next 30 years. And all of a sudden that's going to open up your whole mind, possibilities, and then bring that down and write all those things down and then narrow it down to, what your goals are this year and then put it into the action steps. And I believe that you're going to get into mindset as well. The power of I am. Never want to say I want to be. You always want to say I desire or I am, whatever it is that you want to achieve. So make sure that your goals are big enough that it's incorporating other people into it. If your goal is just to, say, hey, I want to be a successful bronze in ASEA, that doesn't really create enough room for anyone in your downline to really have incredible success. When you have a massive goal, you have a big enough goal that empowers other people to become a part of it. Danny, I know that you've got a pretty big goal, and it's very encompassing that anybody can be a part of it. What is that? You might want to just share that with us.
Yeah. I always look at everything from a global point of view with everything that I've ever done, my traditional businesses and everything. And you know, if you're going to be the best at something, you want to be the best at it. And we've got an incredible business model here in network marketing. You know, number 3 in the world in rank in ASEA. And you know, I'm not looking to be the number 1 associate in ASEA or the person who makes the most money in ASEA. I'm looking at it from a global point of view that I actually want to be the number 1 earner in the world of anybody in any multi-level marketing business. And we're talking about exceeding $1.2 million US per month at this stage. So I've got my sights set on that rather than anything within the business or what I can achieve within the business, because everything that's going to happen within the business is going to happen anyway. So you set your goals, you know, right up here, guys, because if you set them down here and you only achieve this, you're going to be very disappointed. At least if you set a massive goal or massive goals and you only achieve half of what you wanted to, you're going to be a lot happier with doing that than achieving something that's not going to have an impact on your life at all. Welcome another Diamond executive, Lourene Bevaart, for your exclusive, valuable input on the call this morning as well.
Good morning, or good afternoon, shall I say, from here.
What it is too, yeah. So what we've been through is you're on the call, but you weren't promoted. So we're just going through, you know, mindset, getting people direction this time of the year. You know, the way I'm going to look at it too is every single day is going to be New Year's. Every single day is New Year's, which means I've got to move very fast from now. So any input at all to help everybody move forward, go for it, guys.
So look, I just love this.
Go ahead, Lourene.
No, you go, Ed. I can't step on your ground.
Okay. I just want to say quick, I'm with some of our team that we huddle with every Sunday night on a Zoom call. I'm going through, I picked up a book that I first bought. I first got this book probably in 1993, 94, which was only about 2 years after the book was written by John Kaleen, who was one of the great network marketing trainers back that era. And this book is the book that really lit my fuse when I was considering marketing as a career. The name of the book is The Greatest Opportunity in the History of the World. Now, obviously, we know within the context of network marketing, we believe that we have that in ASEA, but the case he's making in this is that network marketing is the greatest opportunity in the history of the world. And from a business standpoint, I absolutely agree with that. And one of the first points he brings out in the beginning of the book here was your magic carpet. And it's funny how some people will look at something one way, other people look at the same thing another way. And here's just a 2 little stanza poem that really kind of it teed up this whole concept for me. That lit my fuse. It has never gone out, even though there's been ups and downs. It's just never gone out. He says, what if this book revealed to you a magic carpet that could lift you over all your fences and whiz you through the air to health and wealth and happiness if you just tell it where? Would it take you where you've never been before, or would you buy some drapes to match it and use it on your floor? So network marketing is a powerful magic carpet. Some people look at it, they just don't see that. They see it as just I don't know what they see, but I saw it as my magic carpet. And, you know, we've all know, Bart and I go back 20 plus years, and, you know, Danny, we've compared some past history. Lourene, we have as well. And we have a really unique opportunity here. This is there's many of us that have been around this business a long time that are saying with absolute conviction that it's nice to have found the company that we always hoped we could find. And, you know, having come off a record year that the company had, we've had record years. We're teed up for an unbelievable future. So, I mean, this is the time. What I've watched you, Danny, what I've watched you do from a distance and occasionally close is that you've never negotiated the price of success. You've just gone out and gone after it. And you set a huge example for your team and for those of us that are privileged to have you on our team. We're just absolutely in awe of what you've accomplished, and we can't wait to see what this, when we have this call this time next year, back at what's happened in 2018, it's going to blow our minds. This is going to be a big year. I keep looking at Rebecca. I'm probably every day I'll kind of catch her off guard and say, Rebecca, she's looking at me and say, we're going to be big. And she makes sure that that's not in the context of her size. She doesn't want, but she says, not that way. I said, no, it's not that way. So just know we're on big thing here, guys. And I remember, Bart, at the very first time you and I went to headquarters. I know you remember this conversation when Vertus Norton pulled us aside, just you and me. And he said, guys, he says, if people really ever understand what we have here, this is another Apple computer, and or Amazon or whatever. This is a big deal. We're just in it at a great time. So, Lourene, you're next. Tag, you're it.
Awesome. I just want to go back to the mindset. What Bart was saying, and obviously Dan and everyone else. We all know about it. We all hear about it. We listen about it. We read about it. But the question I'm going to ask everyone on this call tonight or today or this morning is how many people are actually implementing it? Because I know that so many people, the first thing they do in the morning, the alarm goes off, or they may wake up before the alarm. They check their phone or check their text, their WhatsApp, their Facebook, maybe even post to Facebook. And then they'll go and get a coffee, and then they'll go to work the same old way. So it becomes very habitual. They do the same thing, and there's no change there. 8 books that I read last year, I'll show it to you, was A Miracle Morning. Can you see that? Great book. And now when my alarm goes off, or when I wake up first thing in the morning, I don't reach for the phone. And do you know how hard that is? Or was? I have this conversation, I want to phone, I want to check that, I want to do this, I just would leave it. I would start off with some meditation. Then I'd go and do some exercise, however long that may be. Then I would make sure I do at least 20, 30 minutes of input. So whether that be a YouTube, a TED Talk, a book, and I really, really enjoy, and if you haven't done this, is to listen to Eric Worre's podcast. They're free, download it. There are so many golden nuggets in the people that he interviews. It sort of fast tracks my learning. I just love them. I listen to them every day. And then here's to do your output. So what's your to-do list? Gratitude is huge. My affirmations and my goal setting for the day. And when I get up in the morning, I start myself with the question, what is the greatest ideal of myself that I can give today, or that I can be today? And I just find by having that mindset and starting off my day like that, it makes a huge difference. And sure, I'll find throughout the day, I'll try and reach for that phone or want to have that coffee in the morning, but I just got to say to myself, I've got to do this miracle morning or that power hour plus, whatever it is you want to call it for you, or whatever time of day that is for you. But it's best to do it first thing in the morning because it gets you off to a great start. And I like to write down 4 things in the morning, what I want to accomplish during the day. What I want to be. I want more energy. I want to be more magnetic. I want to connect with so many new people today. I'm actually going to prospect so many people today. And I don't beat myself up if I don't do all of what I say, but at least I'm trying to implement it. I'm trying to create change. I want to be a different person to the old habits that I've been having over the last period of time, whatever that may have been. For my business to change, for me to hit more ranks, to become a better version of myself, I need to do these little changes here. So if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. And another great book, which I'm really, really loving, is this one by Brendan Burchard. It's a brilliant book. Fantastic. It's got really, really great nuggets. Just one more thing before I go back to the other panelists, is to ask your upline, like Ed Wiens, Bart, Kotter, I want you to really harass them, and Stevie, is what are their 5 crucial things they do each day? So producing quality outcomes or outputs. Yeah, we're all busy, or busy with what? We want to be busy building the business. What are 3 to 5 things that they do every day that help them build their business? And I want you to try and implement that, and you'll see a huge difference. So mindset, your power hour, and then find out what you need to do on a daily basis that I call producing quality output. That's going to help you build your business. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Lourene. That was a massive help for me. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. You would be the most structured person when it comes to rituals. You've got your day planned, whether it be working on your ASEA business, spending time with your girls, whatever you're doing, it's quality time. You're putting in quality time, and you've got that ritual in place where you don't waste any time. So thanks for those input. That's absolutely awesome. The problem that us guys have is that we can't multitask. We have to learn, and that was a massive help. Quick question for you, Ed, before we move on to the other guys. And just so people know this is real. This industry is real. Network marketing is real. You can be successful. You can, create generational wealth and financial freedom. Bit of a personal question, because I'd like to know it too, because you've been in the industry for how long? If I can first ask that, how long have you been in this industry? And what would you attribute your accumulation of wealth, I suppose, assets? What percentage would you, so I don't know what you did before network marketing, we're talking about how long you've done it, but the assets that you have accumulated, what percentage has come from what you have earned from network marketing?
I was first exposed to network marketing way back before I had any idea it even existed. When I got a chance to meet Jim Rohn when I was about 12 years old, and found out that my dad and him actually were teenage fishing buddies in Idaho. And it wasn't until I was a senior in high school that I walked into the garage of some family friends. And I knew it would be a real estate guy and kind of a builder. And he had shelves, garage full of product. And I asked him what that was about. He told me he sold these products, and he could also recruit other people to sell them. And he made money when they sold product. And that concept just blew me away. I'd always kind of had a little bit of a salesmanship or a promotion bonus, I guess. And so that idea was just novel to me. And I wasn't until probably about 1973 that I actually got invited, sucked into my first presentation that was actually a company that ended up just falling on its face. And it was it was a famous early on participant in the industry before it was even regulated and defined. And of course, everybody was introduced to Amway at some point along the line. By the way, I'll just tell you that probably the most successful network marketer in the history of network marketing just passed away a couple of days ago. A gentleman named Dexter Yeager built a massive organization in that business, and probably going to get a chance to attend his memorial service because his daughter is actually part of the ASEA family right now, and kind of under the radar, so to speak. But I guess, Danny, I spent 20 years of my life, my professional career, following my parents' footsteps in church work, ministry work. So I was kind of in the nonprofit realm, where I was I was a fundraiser, and I was used to asking people for grants and donations and so forth. And I finally decided I want to get on the other side of the desk and be the donor other than the one asking for donors. And so I made my transition to network marketing full-time in the mid-90s, and have never looked back. There's been ups and downs. Was with a great company for a while that kind of lost its direction, and a few other forays kind of through the wilderness. But as you mentioned earlier, I heard about ASEA early on and sort of put it aside for nearly 5 years until the light bulb kind of finally went on. Probably the greatest asset to me, Danny, is the relationships. I know that's an intangible thing. It's not a material thing, but it's the relationships. I think it was Aristotle Onassis one time was asked, if you lost everything that you've ever earned, what would you do? He says, well, I'll earn it back again, because you can take everything I own, but what you can't take from me is my contacts. You can't take from me the relationships. And that to me is the greatest asset. Even through all the ups and downs, I had a relationship with Bart Kotter, and none of the setbacks that we went through destroyed that connection. And obviously that became a great asset, because the relationship that he and I had led to us working in this business together, which brought you into our life, Danny, because of the relationship that he had with you. So you can't overestimate. I mean, yeah, we've had houses, had cars, got a brand new car sitting in the driveway right now. That's all great. Love all of that. But it's the relationships and the people, and the chance to put your resources to work in a way to make a difference in the lives of people. You know, my wife Rebecca has a mantra that she lives by every day. Every day she wants to do something for somebody that has no ability to repay her. And you know, when you live that way, you just propagate. You plant seeds of generosity and seeds of service to others. You reap a bountiful harvest that you could never pay for. So that may not be the exact answer you were asking for, Danny, but that's what, to me, as I look back at the assets that we have, it's the people, the relationships.
Yeah, we are the assets, and we are the product, and you know, it is all about us, and it is all about you know, we mentioned that people actually need to know people, not necessarily trust people, to be able to, you know, move forward and do business with someone. So for you know, Stevie and Kaleen, Amilton, Bart, just to move forward after this, any more input with getting, it's not just your teams on this call, there's a lot of people from all around the world. Any last input on mindset moving 2019 in the right direction from you guys?
I'd like to add something. And I want to give a shout out to Stevie and Ed both, because I had the pleasure of talking to Stevie in his Australian morning this morning with the birds in the background. It was awesome. And we talked about how, unlike a traditional business, like when Amilton and I started our brick and mortar business before, that we don't have now 10 years ago, we had to invest a substantial amount of money to just get it off the ground, have employees, equipment, licensing, all these things, thousands and thousands of dollars. And so when you invest that amount of money, it has a lot of value, and then we want to make sure it goes right and we get our investment back. And sometimes the downside of network marketing is that, specifically with ASEA, it's only $40 US technically, not including whatever product package you choose to join. And so the beauty of that is it levels the playing field where this business model is accessible to anyone. But the downside is you've only invested $40 plus your product package. And so it's easy to kind of walk away and go, well, if I don't make it, or I don't build it and achieve my goal, okay, I only lost this amount of money, right? So Stevie and I were talking about that today, and that goes into mindset of treating it as if we invested $1 million, $2 million in it. And the pain we would feel if we then don't ever get that investment back. That was one thing. And the other thing, just giving a shout out to Ed and Rebecca, one of the things I appreciate, and Ed, I'm going to butcher the phrase, you might have to correct me, but it's like, get under the spout where the information comes out. Is that how we say it? Okay, good. So what I really want to encourage to all of our leaders on the call, and what Amilton and I keep doing too, is the moment that you start with ASEA, you may or may not have a direct sponsor that's really taking a leadership role or even doing the business on a professional level, but decide to be competent and professional in the industry, and then really find out where is the information coming from at the corporate level, as well as with your field members and your team, and really plug into that. And you can customize your own training path based on what you feel like you need to know. But between like the charge of calls that we have, you know, Monday through Fridays, and the team calls, and the corporate call that happens once a month, and our convention and Envision that's coming up regionally for all of us all over the world, just really plugging into those systems and being a part of that makes it easier to do the business. Because we do often say you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Well, the way to not be by yourself is to make a point to really stay in communication with your upline team, your downline, you know, cross line, all the things that are happening. And that makes a difference to help, you know, Amilton and I keep going. We've never done this industry before. So we've got like a big learning curve, but we love it. And we love the opportunity to grow and be better leaders. And we learn a lot from our downline with the questions they ask us. And the things we need to, okay, well, now we need to figure this out. You know, let's find out if that exists already. Karen Riley, who's the phenomenal corporate liaison we have as the Vice President of Sales for North America, often says plug into what your diamonds are already doing, leverage those systems, don't go off and reinvent the wheel, because there might be something successful already that then allows you to continue to build your own business that you can plug into. So those are kind of the thoughts that I have. Do you want to share anything?
And talking about the book, I'm listening an audio book right now. It's on YouTube. And the name of the book is The Science of Getting Rich. This book was written 100 years ago.
Over 100 years ago.
Over 100 years ago. It's an amazing book. It's an amazing book and mindset, and put your right thoughts in your mind and do the right thing. It's amazing. It's only 2 hours. Very small book.
And the great thing is I don't have to read it. I can listen to it. Thanks, Amilton.
I listen this book already probably 10 times already. And when I'm driving, I put in my phone and I'm driving and listening to the book.
Fantastic.
Can you type that up in the box? Right.
Yep.
Thanks.
And he's written 2 other books. One of them's called The Science of Being Well, which deals with the body being healthy, which is a mindset to have. And the other one is The Science of Being Great. And they were written in 1909, and they're still available and public. You can buy physical copies on Amazon, or you can listen to the audiobook. So I'll put all those in.
So a lot of great input there, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, you spoke about traditional business and the headaches of that with having staff and overheads and, holding product and stock and risk. We don't have that. The only thing we do have is our investment is our time. But this is what we're talking about now, utilising, maximising and making sure that our time is productive and we don't waste it. So without any further ado, I'm sure that Stevie Aquilina has got a few handy hints for you guys. So let's bring him in and kick off the new year with a few tips from Stevie. Thanks, mate.
I shouldn't have gone last. You've all said such awesome things, and now it's my turn. So, hey, I just want to, because I said hello to you great gentlemen beforehand, but I just want to take a moment to say g'day to Amilton and Kaleen and Wonder Woman. Just want to take a moment to say hello and appreciate you good people. Thank you for being on. It's an honor to be here. And Ed, when you said that you often look at Rebecca and say, we're going to be big, I do that every day with Sarah. We're going to be big. And I want everyone on the call to get excited. And I hope you are. Happy New Year to everybody. Who's happy this new year already? Who's happy it's a new year? Who's excited about the new year? I want you to get your fast fingers out, and I want you to type. Are you ready for New Year? Do you want this new year to be your biggest and best ever? Or are you totally happy with your previous year? Who feels like they're not living? Come on, I'm watching. I want to see those fast fingers going. Who wants more this year? Who feels like they're not living up to their full potential? Come on, guys. It might be getting late in the US. Yeah, who feels like they could be doing more?
Absolutely.
There we go. Yeah, look, and you know what? If you can be doing more, you must. You must. Today's call. You're hearing a lot about mindset, and you're hearing a lot about business, and we're going to be talking a lot about success, and we're going to be talking a lot about how to build this business. But don't get us wrong. We're not getting away from the mission of this company. Real quick, someone type in the chat box, what's the mission of this company? Fastest person, fast fingers. What's the mission? What's ASEA's mission? Oh man, is anyone even still on the call? There we go. Who wrote that? Amilton, to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. Bingo, bango. And we're not getting away from that, but through the business, we're enhancing that. Ed said that Rebecca wants to give people who could never repay her. Well, to do that, guys, you better have more than you need. Because that's when you can honestly stop being selfish. If you've only got enough for what you need, you're not going to be able to do much for anybody else. And so this year we want it to be the biggest and best for you, but I think most importantly, we want it to be the biggest and best for everybody else. You're in ASEA for somebody else, and you can have everything you want. The old saying goes, as long as you just help enough other people get what they want. But, you know, I think that what we tend to forget is that you actually get everything you deserve. Happiness is not an entitlement. It is earned. So you're going to have to do the work. If you want to be valued, if you want to have valuables in life, you better become more valuable. And, you know, that's what today's call is going to be about. That's what we're going to extract from these great ladies and gentlemen on the call today. You're probably going to have to, each person spoke about writing goals. You're probably going to have to make those goals 10 times bigger than what they are now. And you are very likely going to need to take 10 times more of the action than you think you're going to need to take to be successful in achieving those goals. So your purpose is going to need to be bigger than you. Your goals are going to need to get bigger. That will get your thinking bigger, and that will get your activity bigger, and that will help you to make the biggest difference, to have the biggest impact, to better the biggest amount of people's lives, and to be the biggest force for good in 2019. So welcome to the new year. We're excited for you, and let's go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stevie. We'll get Bart's input, and then we'll move to probably a lot of news that you guys will get in Envision. A lot of news that we got out of Global Diamond Call this morning. I've got I've got a PowerPoint, got some slides that we're going to give you an overview on what happened last year, where we ended up, and where we're going to. So, Bart, if you can just wrap this section up, and we'll all talk about these slides in this call that we're on this morning.
Yeah, look, I kind of already mentioned it. I think the most important thing is getting clear on what your goal is. Start with the end in mind, and really start your day with I am. Declare to the universe, declare to yourself what you are. When you start with the end in mind, you know, I am a presidential triple diamond. If you start with that, it's going to change your whole physiology. I love how Tony Robbins talks about our physiology, you know, our attitude. We're going to attract better people. We're going to attract better relationships. We're going to attract a mindset. We're going to speak with more confidence. You'll breathe differently. So just start your day with I am, whatever you want to declare. I am a diamond in ASEA. I am a magnetic, attractive, you know, I attract magnetic leaders to my business. So you declare it with the I am statements. Obviously, everybody seems to, you know, the phrase readers are leaders are readers, or they listen to the books, in your case, Danny. But basically, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. We have no time this year to waste time, you know, watching television and doing things that just create negative stuff. If you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. Make sure you're putting the right stuff in. Put your head in the right place. Put your daily tasks and goals down, like Lourene talked about, and let's make this year an absolute sensational year. We've got the momentum, and I know, Danny, you're going to be going through the slides on what was going on with the Diamond Call today. And we are truly in the right place at the right time. We've all dreamed about being at the right place at the right time. We've got the right company with the right products. And right now, with everything that they've set up with infrastructure and global expansion, we truly are in a very special place. It's time to recognize that and treat it like a real business, like the bricks and mortar business that Kaleen and Amilton talked about. If you treat it like a business, not like a hobby, the problem is that it's so easy to get into a business like this that people take it for granted. But Danny, I know that you started with every day thinking, you know, treating it like you invested $1 million in this business. And if you have that mindset and you realize that that's the potential of what you can create, network marketing is a little bit different animal. You know, you in the beginning, you have to do some things you may not get paid for or get paid well for, but as you build your organization, you'll start getting paid for things that you're really not doing because of the momentum that you've created. So it truly is an amazing model, but you have to have the long-term vision and the mindset was starting with the end in mind. So with that, back to you, Danny.
Well, guys, I'm going to go across the slides, but listen, become the leader that you want to attract and act like the diamond leader that you want to become. Outflow is going to equal inflow, which is going to lead to cash flow, guys. So hopefully that all makes sense this morning. You can put any questions in the chat box. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to invite these guys on the call that were on the Global Diamond call this morning to have any comments on any of these slides, because we're all on there. Is that up there, guys? Can you see that? All good? Okay, so yeah, this was the agenda for this morning. I didn't put every single slide in, but I do have a lot of them. There was some content we can't put up at this stage, which we'll talk about. So the agenda was the agenda was 2018, the year in review, last year in review. Chuck took that. 2019 strategic focus areas, which was Jerem. The incentive events and the important updates was from Justin. There was a message from Tyler at the end. And let's see if this works. This was just a snapshot of each of these while I was power walking, and I've just somehow transported them. And oh, look, we're good. Is that all good? Does that work? Excellent. Okay, so 2018, the year review. So, guys, sales were up over 50%. That is phenomenal. So on all the ranks of everything on the planet, everything that's reported, our rank, our level as a company with turnover is gone through the roof. So we've gone from turning over $80 million to nearly $120 million last year. Auto ships were up 41%. That's another massive increase. Incredible results. Total rank advancements were up 90%. Diamond rank advancements were up over 100%. Phenomenal results, and we want to get you guys down here on this bottom level, let alone up at these diamond ranks. But keep looking at this big one here, the presidential triple diamond, guys. That's the one you should be aiming for. This was an incredible trip. This was the qualifiers were up 46% from the year before. We stayed in this castle, Adair Manor. We had a great time. I was on a golf course. It was in Ireland. These trips are on every year, there for the taking. This was the Diamond Summit in Dublin. We stayed at the Shelbourne Diamond Summit qualifiers. They were up 67%. Anytime you guys want to jump in on anything that are on the call, don't hesitate. Highest, I'll go through this. This is the Global Ascent trip. This is available for everybody. Anybody in the middle ranks can go for this trip. It's on every single year. At the moment, people in the middle ranks can qualify ongoing. Just to let you know, they're looking at cutting it back, that you can only achieve it twice. So, guys, that's an incentive to get to Diamond, so you can win the Diamond trip every single year. This is a trip in Los Cabos. I missed out on it, but I will be going to Cancun, Mexico, and hopefully you guys will be attending to and achieving that. Highest attendance convention in the history of ASEA. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I didn't make this. Hopefully, a lot of you on this call did get to this event. It looked like an incredible event. I had the privilege of watching this from here at home through a lot of people that were streaming live. So technology is absolutely marvelous. We launched ASEA VR obviously last year. The whole line was officially launched. It's still moving into some countries. It's not officially launched in all countries. That has sent our growth through the roof. The launch of the flat rate shipping tables, they worked on this for a very long time. That has made it extremely easy for us. We know here in Australia now or in Asia or anywhere that it's a flat rate shipping, no matter if we're getting 1 case or 100 cases. They upgraded the redox supplement manufacturing capacity. They needed to do that. There was new equipment that came in, extra equipment. We've moved into Asia, guys. You know, we will be $1 billion turnover company in the next few years. And obviously they needed the manufacturing plant, the facility to be able to support that growth. The Big Six Task Force, they do have a group of people working out of the office. Incredible group of people that are always working on enhancing the experience and making sure that these in particular are working at the best level they can in regards to enrollments, orders, payment processing, fulfillment, shipping, and commissions and reports. So these guys are continually getting our input to improve these areas in the business, and that is their job. That's all they do. IT infrastructure a year and a half ago, we changed to the new systems. Obviously, there was a few hiccups and bumps along the way, but things are pretty smooth now. We did have a lot of problems that did have to do with IT, but those are pretty well being ironed out now. Obviously, here in Australia, ASEA Redox supplement was launched, so it was approved here as a food or a beverage, and it has made it so much easier for us here to build a business. I mean, when it comes down to any financial gain or saving, we didn't have to buy it directly from the States, so that was a big help to our market. Taiwan and Thailand opened up last year. That was fantastic. I actually went to Taiwan 4 times last year. Personally, minimal business in Thailand, haven't been there yet, but I'm looking at going in 3 months' time. Very excited about the Thailand market. This is the office opening in Taiwan. So as you guys know, we've got a head office in Salt Lake City. We've got, in Utah, we've got one in Germany that looks after Europe. This is the 3rd office in the world that was open, and they do have a great big training room there, and it's a huge office, and it supports with taking the pressure off what they've got to do in head office. So as far as Taiwan's concerned, everything goes through the Taiwan office. Enhanced EMP and diamond pool bonus. There was over $2 million paid out in each of these pools, which was incredible last year. These pools are just amazing, guys. If you're going to jump in a swimming pool, if you're going to go for a swim, you're going to want to be in these 2 swimming pools. So a lot of you now are coming through the EMP. Make sure you maximize and capitalize on every single cent you can take out of that. Do not jump into the EMP if you haven't got a stable bronze, silver, gold, or platinum business. And then make sure you get enough width in your business coming through there to be able to capitalize also on the diamond pool. 2 incredible pools. These enhancements were the best things the company have ever done. As a diamond, we get individuals like this that look after us personally. So anybody that is a diamond becomes a diamond, you are allocated to one of these people. So if you have any challenges in the field, we can go to the diamond support, crew direct, and they can help out, sort out any challenges a lot quicker than what we would going through customer service. If you guys have any issues with customer service where things are dragging or lagging on, make sure you approach your upline diamond, and they can approach diamond support. The phone system right now is being upgraded. The phone system's been okay, but we're going to get a much better phone system, and you'll notice that transition with recordings and everything that's going to be happening through the system. So it's going to be a much friendlier process when we ring head office or diamond or the customer support. So this year, ASEA was recognised for the 4th consecutive year for being the best company in Utah to work for. A lot of companies drop in and out of this. These guys have been consistent. It's got nothing to do with the company. They do not pay to get this. It is the employees voting for their company, and they've got no control over it. So 4th year in a row, I mean, this is just, this is the company, this is corporate looking after their staff. And if they're consecutively getting this award, they're obviously doing a fantastic job of looking after their staff. There's a lot of companies out there that look after the field as much as they can, but sort of forget their staff. There's companies that look after the staff and forget the field. We've got a company that looks after everybody. These are the diamonds, guys. If you're not pictured here, this is where we want you this year. So anybody on this call, if you want to be up on this board, just let us know. Send us a message in chat that you want to be up here, and we'll help you to get there. So we're here to support you guys. End of the day, you've got to build this business on your own. All we can do is support you and do as much as we can, but you've got to put in the work. This next section was taken by our president, Jerem Webb. A little bit more detail going into basically 2019 and where we've come from, where we're going to. So 2015, 2017 is what Jerem looked at as being an infrastructure building and foundation building of ASEA. So it was a pretty challenging time from a corporate point of view anyway. It didn't affect the field too much, but 2018 was the massive inflection point where we went over $100 million, and that's where a business of this type, of any type, gets a momentum and traction. So we're going into momentum now. These guys got, I would say, everything right last year. There was a lot of hard work done with corporate to make sure that happened. thank goodness they listen to us as far as the field's concerned to make sure that the company's heading in the right direction because it affects us. But last year was a massive inflection point. 2019, 20 and 21 is going to be all about growth, expansion, momentum, refinement, and execution. So they're moving into concentrating on specific things that they need to in order to move our business to that $1 billion turnover in the next few years' time. This is something that you all really need to push. And this is something that I've asked the company to put in all marketing material, that we are the only company on the planet that has the complete cellular health solution. I call it the ultimate cellular health solution. We know that we used to only have the redox CV molecules, the labor for the body. Now we've got the nutrition, the material, and a combination of both is a lethal weapon for getting your body heading in the right direction. So guys, we are a company that is and has got the complete cellular health solution. So when you're talking to anybody about any other company and they say, but our products are better than yours, well, one, their products can't work effectively and efficiently without redox CV molecules, and two, they do not have and will never have the complete or ultimate cellular health solution. These are the tier 1 markets. They are China, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Russia, and Brazil. For anybody on the call that would love to do business in these countries, yes, I know Indonesia's on there twice. That was just a test. These tier 1 markets, the company is very, very protective over. We can't be seen to be doing any business in these countries, and that means no meetings, no trainings. If you want to move product into these countries for humanitarian purpose or humanitarian reason, that is not a problem. But if it gets caught up in customs, if there's a problem getting it in, if there's any issues at all, it doesn't come back on the company, it comes back on us. So for anybody who's doing it. People look at being consumers, people want to share, people want to build the business, and people want to lead. So these are 4 parts of the business. And what they're talking about here, so field development, create an environment to attract and develop new associate leaders in existing markets and increase ASEA's customer base. This is a massive part of their strategy to develop leaders, new leaders. This was part of my strategy the next 2 years to make sure we got the leadership in every country, in every state, in every city, anywhere. And as you guys know, I'm going to be in the United States for a fair while this year. So I want to help create leadership no matter what team that leadership comes from in every single state in America to make sure that they can support the membership with meetings, presentations, and training. So what this is about is have a look at everything individually. Have a look at the consumer and how you can make it exciting for the consumer and how you can entice people to engage in each of these sections. So make it exciting for a consumer. Make sure that they get results on the product. Make sure that you are giving them the experience and the excitement that they need to stay on the product. Anybody that shares ASEA, the same. Make it exciting for them. Anybody building the business, keep in mind, from their perspective, it's always their point of view, no matter who you're talking to. Make it exciting for a person that's building the business. And for your leaders, make sure that they're excited all the time about what they're doing. So consistently work on making it exciting for every single person in your business, no matter what they're utilizing our vehicle for, whether it's just a consumer sharing it, building, or a leader. Strategic focus. So they're looking at spending. They've got a massive budget on this organic leadership development. This we discussed it in Global Advisory Council. They have got a budget aside now concentrating on developing leaders. So that might be something that we can use or tap into that budget to actually help us do that. The fly-ins, the fly-in experience, they're going to enhance. So make sure you've got the dates for the fly-ins. The fly-ins is when we can invite influential people, or particularly network marketers that have been successful, to go and experience a corporate office, to go and experience and do a tour of the manufacturing plant. That is going to be a big focus of mine. So anybody out there, if you've got somebody that has achieved, that's been successful, or anybody who's upcoming, anybody at all that we want to give an experience to, and anybody that we need to put money into, or this leadership growth, this actual budget that the company's come up with, just make sure you reach up to your upline, because we want to make sure these leaders are developing and or getting to these clients to make sure they have the experience to be able to make a decision or move forward in our business. To increase ASEA's exposure to the masses, customer acquisition and engagement. So this is a big part of this field development, which is one of 5 parts of their strategy. This is something that they've added, something that has changed. This is the whole strategy. So these are the 5 key strategic points. So I won't read all these out, but you can see them on the screen. Product development, validation, new and existing market expansion and development, field development, which we spoke about with attracting new leaders into the business, operational execution and financial management and culture, talent and development. So obviously this is all in line with our vision, which is to become the recognised global leader in cellular health and redox-based technologies and achieve worldwide distribution of ASEA's life-changing products, financial opportunity and culture. This strategy, and this is the 3-year strategy at this stage. This could change in the meantime, but at the moment, this is the focus, and it's always evolving. Our businesses are always evolving. Our goals are always changing. Things need to be, looked at, updated, and make sure that, once business gets to the point where we're doing well in a particular area, this strategy could change. But at the moment, this is the focus for the next 3 years. Justin Wilson spoke about. You guys can jump in here. You guys know the importance of these events. This is Envision. Ed, Kaleen, Amilton, you guys from America, if you want to jump in and just talk about this, the importance of getting to this event. It's still not too late.
You talk about the Envision is it's the 2nd largest event that we have in the field. Corporately, it's a corporate event. They have got a tremendous lineup. They've toured, of course, the benefit of getting to Envision is to get a chance to see the home office and a production facility. I think those tours may be about sold out, but there's no better way to get the big picture view of the company, the culture, the people on the corporate side and the field side. We've got new people that are just really have engaged in the last 60 days that are gathering teams of people and bringing them. And there's no better way to jumpstart your business is to get not just yourself there, but to get some of your people there and have them just get the big picture. The whole scenario that ASEA paints for us here in the career track is climbing a mountain. Obviously, this is like base camp. This is like gathering at the foot of the mountain and taking stock of the task ahead, getting an idea what it's going to take, who you're teamed with, what's it going to entail, and then we have the ascent trip, which is kind of halfway up the mountain. You get to celebrate that experience, and of course, there's the Diamond Summit. But all of that is really contingent on getting the big picture at the bottom of the mountain, and that's what Envision's all about. So it's not, we have folks that just within the last week have decided today, we've had folks decide today to make the trip. So whatever you have to do to get to Salt Lake City, get your heavy coat. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be warm inside. It's going to be, your business is going to be hot when you get back home. So yeah, get there. It's going to be great.
Thanks for your input, Ed. Okay, so guys, this is the Envision conference in Barcelona. So this caters for the Europeans, and obviously we've got the Envision conference on the Gold Coast in Australia in February. If you're not going to these events, you either have got a very, very good excuse or you're not serious about building the business. It's as simple as that. So these events are very, very important to get into. As Ed mentioned, these are the 2nd biggest events to convention in Las Vegas. Just before we talk about Vegas convention, Bart, yep.
Do you mind if I just talk about the Australian one coming up here?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, this really applies to all the events, but big events are where people catch a big vision, but it's also about getting your team there too, because the value of having your team members at these big events is, I mean, you just can't put a price on it. That's where big decisions are made, and that's where things really happen. So statistically, the company can talk about that. This event in Australia that's coming up for, I know we've got a number of Aussies that are listening in to today. They extended because we got on the phone and begged and pleaded, and so they kept the price for the early bird pricing until January 31st. It actually ended on the 8th, but they extended that for us. So we really need to promote that big time, and it's not about just being there yourself, but how many people can you get there, and think in terms of multiplication. So, set a goal for something crazy, like not I'm going to come myself and bring one person, but think, hey, if I bring, if I could bring, let's say you're fairly new, so I'm going to set a goal to bring 5 people with me and help those 5 people bring 5, set a goal to bring 25, 30, 40 people in your team with you at that event. Really, it's not about you, it's about who they know and who they know. So just think expansively and set some goals. This is all part of the goals for this year, is to set some big goals, and a big part of that would be how many people you're going to have attend these events.
Thanks, Bart. Thanks, Ed. So obviously we've got grand opening events coming up in Asia as well. Taiwan grand opening in Taichung City is on March 2. So that's coming up. So if you've got business over there and you can't turn up, just make sure that your team is at this event. And the same with the Thailand grand opening in Bangkok on March 9. You may not be able to attend, but you probably, some of you guys on the phone probably on this call probably do have people over in Thailand. Guys, work on getting them to this event. I mean, I've got a little bit of a team that might be building there that hasn't started, but I'm contemplating going over there if we've got a handful of people that have kicked off. So keep an eye on these events. Don't just think of yourself. Obviously, ASEA sent. We've got the guys didn't think they could top Los Cabos, but this is in the Riviera in Cancun, Secrets, Maroma Beach on the 11th to the 15th of June. Hopefully, a lot of you guys are in qualification for this, and I'm looking forward to it. Us Diamonds have got to pay, but obviously that's fine. And looking forward to getting away to Cancun, Mexico, and spending time and celebrating with you guys and your achievements. The big one. Anyone want any input on the big one? These events are critical and crucial. I mean, anyone anywhere on the planet should be going to convention. Yes, Stevie, come in on the global convention.
Sorry, mate. I thought you were actually waiting for someone to come in, but you were just too fast for your internet. Hey, look, you said before, you better have, the only reason for not going is that you've got a really, really, really good excuse not to go. And I think I would invite people to get really honest with themselves. There's not really a lot of good excuses. There might be a couple, but there's not a lot. If time and money is one of your complaints for not being able to get there, turn that complaint into your commitment for going there. If time and money is your issue, that's exactly why you need to be there. And it might be a legit excuse, but it is not going to change your life. And this event, the global convention, is the biggest event of the year globally. I've been to 3. I've been lucky enough to be to 3 now, and Las Vegas will be our 4th. They are life-changing. They are nothing like you. If you're new to this company and you haven't been to an ASEA event before, I promise you it's unlike anything else. There's no rah-rah, there's no dancing girls, there's no talking about big bank accounts and big mansions. It's a very professional event. It's a very business and medical science event. It's a very serious event, but you'll come away just as excited, if not more excited, than breaking boards and walking fire events, because what we have is very real, it's very true, it's very significant, it's very important. Big ahas are realized at big events, and therefore big decisions are made at big events, and therefore big leaders are born at big events. And if you really want to have your biggest year ever, then I would highly recommend that you focus on getting the biggest amount of people you can to every single event.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for your input. This is the second ASEA Global Convention that they've had in Vegas. And guys, make it a bit of a trip. Vegas is a fun place. We all know that. We all see it on TV. We hear about it. I've been there a few times. I absolutely love Vegas. This is some footage from the first Vegas convention. The guys you can see dressed up here. From corporate, you can see Jaron Webb, and the guys having a lot of fun. Just to talk about the ASEA Diamond Summit, this year, qualification period still running, obviously, till the end of August or into August somewhere. The Diamond Summit extension, so that's for the ambassadors and up, 21st to the 24th of October, Four Seasons Resort in Oahu. And the Diamond Summit, we're going to, after it, 24th to the 28th of October on Maui. So, guys, these trips you should be aiming for and winning every single year. Yeah, you've got to get to diamond. Yes, you have to stabilize your diamond business. Once you've got a stable diamond business, you're going to these trips every single year, and they are a lot of fun. And it's great to hang around other leaders and just to suck their brain to see what they're doing during the year and just to swap some knowledge and information to make sure we're all moving forward. So, but a lot of this is just good old-fashioned fun. Qualification, there's a new structure, a new qualification. What they've done, they've put the qualification for the Diamond Summit in line with something similar that we're doing for the Ascent trip. So it's all based on points. So you hit diamond ranks and you get points for that. But you also get, for any enrollment volume over the period, qualification period, you can also qualify to win merchandise and a trip with a Tyler a day trip. There's all sorts of things on offer there. So these guys have done an incredible job with bringing in, and you've got the Diamond Life, so you can redeem worlds. They're getting a catalogue together now, so this is all changed for the diamonds, and you can actually use your points towards redeeming gifts and prizes like this that you can see up on the screen. So that's all coming in. Create your own extraordinary experience. That's still there. So you can get your own PA and they can actually put together a trip of a lifetime for you with winning cash towards these types of things. Well, this is something that I can't put up, but you will get that. There's new disclosure coming. Bear with it, guys. It's you know, we haven't had, I don't think we've had an income disclosure since about 2015, if I recall. Tyler Norton finished with a message. You might have been on his call the other day. If you were on his call the other day, and you guys can quote me because I wasn't. I was power walking this morning. But he talked about a general in the army, how in love he was, and what he was talking about. He wasn't in love with, and how he used to bring on a lot of leaders. And it wasn't being in love with the people he worked with or in love with those leaders. It was being in love with what he was doing, in love with his job. So this, just with him, with the way he portrayed himself in what he did, the way he conducted himself, the way he carried himself, he loved what he was doing. It was attracting leaders to work with him in what he did. And I think I can expand a little bit more because, I mean, we all love ASEA. We love the breakthrough. We love the technology. We love the people. But I'm going to ask you a question. Do you love your ASEA business? Are you happy with your ASEA business? So are you loving your business with the stage and with the point that it's at right now? So if you are happy with it, put it up in the chat box. If you're not happy with it, let's change it this year. Let's make sure by the end of this year that you love your ASEA business. So that was just a little message from Tyler at the end that was on the In Touch call the other day. Just going to stop sharing the screen, bring everybody back up to Celebrity Squares. And it's getting late in a lot of states in the US, guys. So what I want to do is wrap up the call. There's so much more to go into, you know, strategy and, you know, end of the day, actually I'll wait till you guys come on. So Ed, Stevie, anybody all want to jump in to close the call? Any last minute hints, tips, pointers to make sure that these guys on this call achieve whatever they set out to achieve by the end of this year?
I loved what Tyler said on that call this morning about being in love with your business. I took a few notes. He said, you know, how do you? One of the ideas was the grass is greenest where we water it. And it's kind of a simple concept, but where you pay attention. And he said, never take for granted the stewardship that we have with our business, the impact that we have, the lives that we can change. You know, and Tyler is always so brilliant about making it about other people. It's not about us. It's about the lives that we can change, the relationships that we can build. You know, for every time that you make a contact, when you phone someone, really just take yourself out of the picture, because that's where the fear comes in. And I'm kind of embellishing on what Tyler said. He didn't really talk about this so much, but it rings so true with what he said, that when we're afraid, it's because we're thinking about ourselves. But if we're thinking about the other people and how we can be a servant leader, which is really what he's talking about, then that really makes all the difference in the world. So, yeah, I'm just excited about that whole concept. Water your business. The grass is greenest where you water it. Be focused.
Yeah, I suppose a big point there, Bart, was to you know, don't take for granted what we've got. I mean, just let it. You got me, guys?
Yeah.
Yep. You know, we don't have. There is not a better vehicle. So if a shiny object comes along, be disciplined enough not to be distracted.
Yeah, the thing that I always, it's kind of, I beat this drum frequently. Just make the decision. You don't necessarily know the how, but the what. You're gonna make it to the top of the mountain. Just you're gonna make it. Once you make the decision, then things begin to happen to kind of facilitate the outcome. But until the decision is made, there's hesitancy, and so just commit to the what, and the how will fall in place once you make the decision.
Stevie, Milton, and Kaleen, any input before we finalise the call?
I think I want to say thank you for the leadership you guys provide to us, and definitely the mindset is that what take you are. And like Ed said, you don't have to know how it's gonna come to you. You just need to put your mind there and work on it, and that's all. That's the way we're doing. That's the way we're doing.
The other thing too is if you really admire leaders, like you're going to an event in your region or, you know, even locally, find out what help they need. Find out, you know, how you can plug in if you feel comfortable doing that. Like just to acknowledge Bart and Melissa, you guys are so phenomenal doing our global monthly team training. And I know hours of preparation go in, and even thoughtfulness on the IT and the slides and all these things. And so I just encourage all of you guys to reach out and ask your leaders how you can help, or if you have a skill set that you're really good at, we don't know about that, shout out what you're good at and let us know, something that really brings you joy to do. And we can plug you into the events that we're all doing, or the leadership training we're doing, or any of that stuff, because we grow with your skills and knowing what they are. So let us know.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Stevie, any last words?
Yeah, I mean, like, real quick, I spoke about this last night, Dan, that, you know, I was reading an article that only 1% of people in network marketing make above minimum wage. And I think at first glance, someone who's uneducated, unexperienced in this industry could say, well, you know, well, that's why you stay away from that stuff. Network marketing doesn't work. But I think that, well, I know that now, having experience and education in this industry, that's not the case. You know, it's some of the people in it that don't work, some of the people that are broken down. I mean, if you look at the stats on network marketing in 2017, there are 107 million people in direct sales. And not all of them are in it to build a business, and not all of them are in it to even build an average business, let alone a big one. But if you look at that 1%, that means that 1.7 million people were making above minimum wage in network marketing in 2017. But I think that what's lacking that everyone on this call should focus on in network marketing is, look, if you look at those people at the top, I bet you they're extremely trained. I bet you they're extremely trained. And train every single day, no matter how high they are. If you look at doctors in the medical profession, most of those people in that profession are getting paid because they're highly educated, they train, they practice, and that's why most of them are getting paid. I believe that, what's missing in people is what's, causing that 1%, not what's missing in network marketing. You've got to have a purpose, find a purpose, and it's got to be bigger than you. If it's not bigger than you, it's probably not going to be enough. It definitely needs to be bigger than your fears. You need to get a big purpose. The bigger your purpose, the bigger your actions are going to be, and the bigger your new year is going to be. You need to be committed, and commitment is represented by time and money. That's why you need to get along to the Envision event. That's why you need to get along to the global conference. That's why you need to qualify for Ascent. That's why you need to qualify for those diamond summits. That will take time and money, and that investment will give you more time, will give you more money. As I said, you've got to be highly trained. There's so much training available just in the small amount of people that you got on this call today. There's audio books, there's webinars, there's seminars, there's live events. There's so much training available to you. Attitude is senior to everything. And I don't want to knock the law of attraction, but it's not enough. You've got to make sure that you're also not violating the laws of action. Most people just aren't doing enough. If you want to have more, you've got to become more, and you've got to do more as well before you get more. And then I think another big missing ingredient in all of our business is accountability. Kaleen mentioned it before from our chat this morning. One of the problems in network marketing is anybody can join network marketing, and anybody can get anybody to join the network marketing business. It's easy to get into, which means it's easy to not do it right, and then it's easy to get out of it. A McDonald's franchise over here in Australia cost you $1.5 million. It's hard to come across $1.5 million. And that's why people who get into the McDonald's business will work hard on their business. So what's easy to do is easy to not do, right? And if you get with your upline leader, get with your proven upline leader, tell them what you want, find out from them what you have to do to get it, and on a daily basis, give them permission to hold you accountable to that. Freedom is the goal, but don't forget the deal is that you work. It's work. We're all working for ourselves. We're all working from home, but the deal is you work. Don't forget the work part. Hold yourself accountable.
Thanks, Stevie. And talking about commitment, I saw a message from Sarah. I mean, you guys are going to be at the global convention, and I know how very important, even though I don't have children, how important it is to spend time with them on their birthday. And you guys will be at a convention while it's your son's birthday. So that is commitment. That's awesome. Yeah. I've heard from Bart, in the past, talking about being involved in other companies, and then, ASEA end up coming along and becoming his home, the home he'd always been looking for. He being lost in the desert until he found this incredible company. For me, it wasn't really like that. I wasn't really looking for a home, but what I tried to create all my life through my traditional business was to leave a legacy. And through all my traditional business and everything I had achieved, I've never been able to do that. And I know now that I can through ASEA. So I'm going to wrap up as I do every presentation, every call, that Vertus Norden and Tyler Norden They're leaving their legacy to us and to the planet. I'm going to leave my legacy to the world. And us guys on this call, we hope that we can help you leave your legacy to the world as well. We've got an incredible opportunity, guys. Don't take it for granted. You know, the only person that can make 2019 work out is you personally. So take the action to do so. Make 2019 your best year ever and just be awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next call.
Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks, Dan, Ed, Bart, Amilton, Kaleen. Thank you, guys.